I'm Stefan Rapazzo, coming to you at home in Nice, bringing you this action in Chambéry. We're in the same country, so I feel like I'm close and connected. And today's action, we'll see Jetset Open trying to get themselves back on track. They've been bounced out if you were watching the Ravi show last night. Taking on One Tribe, the team that was a big surprise at the start of the season, but they keep backing themselves up. Let's see how this one shapes up. So underway here, One Tribe in white, taking on Jetset, wearing the darks. Emiliano leading throw goes to Zocca. High take. Poltok. And he goes back to Di Grazia. But the next throw is too far, and Jetset there to knock it down. Possibly the second turn of the game, but I did admittedly just miss a little part of the opener. Hammer. Kapow. Direct. Blast of forehand. That looks like it could have worked, but it goes over the wrong shoulder. Travels a little bit too far. And another chance for One Tribe. From their own end. Gaglione. He leads to Pace. High second effort, and that did stay up. No, even teammates are saying it was down. And it'll go back to Jetset. Vianney goes back to Clements. Direct. Gets the inbound. Now working the far sideline. Leads crafty throw. Vianney runs under it. Then puts some shape, but not enough. And too close to the sideline. So that's going to go back to One Tribe again. Multi-turn. First point of the game. Pressure's high. Rankings readjusted. It's all happening here. So as far as the ranking algorithm goes, let's see if they can cash this in, and then I'll fill you in on the quick little research I've done, and they've put it in for the goal. Jetset open things up with the goal. They are supposed to lose this game 15 to 12.87. And they can't score 12.87. So, of course, that would be 15 to 13. So, a close game expected. Now, we mentioned a surprise was one tribe. They beat La Fota early in the season, 15-9 on home soil back in Italy, and boosted up into the rankings. Everybody was wondering how this is possible. But all they've been doing is backing it up. They were pretty good at spring tour. They've been very good here. They're 8-3 on the season, and all their games that have counted. They are the 7th seed, ahead of teams like Chevron, Gentle, and Ranelagh that you would, strongholds of making EUCF, ahead of Groot and Badskid. Jetset started this tournament. I think they were definitely in, maybe in about 13 to 15, something like that. They've dropped to 19 after a poor day yesterday. One tribe. The quick Italian style. Parodi. It goes all the way around. Leads to the corner and finds a seam in for the goal. That makes it one apiece. And that one's Lorenzo Pace to Davide Parodi. So the first goal of the game was a break for Jetset. So nice way to start. After, as we say, a disappointing day yesterday. Let's go through some results here. Jetset opened up and a 2-point loss to the Flying Angels of Bern. They followed that up with a big win over Blackbirds. They hit the blowout 15-6, which is expected. But then they got pumped by Quixotes. I was on that one, 14-8. Unexpected. Quixotes are finding form right now, hitting stride, if you will. This game very important for both sides, as there will be many very important games coming up today, particularly in the women's division at 1 o'clock. Woof versus Tequila Boom Boom. That could be for a spot in UCF, depending on how games go. This one hangs up and gets in for the goal. Another hold for Jetset. Haymans sends the big bomb. Martin Robbins rises to the occasion to cash it in. One drive underway. To the near sideline. Bragin goes back to center. Push to the far sideline, working towards the mountains. Bragin inside, and he gets Zoka. Zoka, high throw. Quick continue. Defense was coming, but not quick enough now. One tribe, just a meter or so away. They go backwards as there was major congestion. Again, there must be some players free. If it means going to the far sideline, go. There is one in the back corner. Goes hard. There was time to catch up, and the throw did do favors. And a score for one tribe. The finish on that one was Stefano Poggi to Davide Parodi. And it's all tied up 2-2. And Jetset take it to about the brick mark. And jacked it. Pole play works again. Sam Murphy's got a keen eye on this game. Wondering if the pole plays are going to get shut down. And in that case, no. Even the under was also available. Playing hard match D both directions in this game. But that bomb from Christophe Phillips to Elias Ravier very much worked. And Jetset maintain the lead 3-2. Preserve that break they earned on the first point of the game. Here's another poll. Let's see what they do about it. Oh, they've got an arrowhead. Are they trying to take something away? Upline throw. Low one-hander. And it gets flipped out of the grip. Turnover. Another chance to break for Jetset. They have slept well in the French mountains, it seems, because they've opened up in much better form than they may have left off yesterday. Lead throw high and into double coverage, and that one milked maybe a little bit too far, but no, quite perfectly. One tribe do evade the break and go right back the other way. Now, Jetset, a team that have found success over the last couple years, but some of their success has come from externals, as mentioned yesterday. The Dan Demarais rule is pretty much the roster transfer rule, as he helped them qualify in. Well, he helped qualify 2 teams into EUCF last year, so that's no longer allowed. We'll keep our eyes out for any sideline stragglers coming in on the roster as, I don't know, Bam Bemaray. Jetset doing it full Leuven. No Lithuanians, no Austrians. Doing it all Leuven. Heymans under. Through the middle. Some forward momentum. The lead throw to the end zone. That one works. And the deep game is coming together for Jetset today. They've also got themselves a nice cheering section going on. Van der Oost to Ravier. Van der Oost been having a heck of a weekend. Yeah, Van der Oost was 16 stats, 11 assists, and 5 goals, leading the team by a long shot. Next best points getter is Brecht Heymans with 9. So Van der Oost has been pulling hard yards for Jetset Open while they've been toughing it out. It's crazy to think that this game would be considered an upset win for Jetset after the last few years, anyhow. One tribe, I believe, formerly known as Alligators. I'm pretty sure about that. But they rebranded themselves. I like the rebrand. They are missing. They are a Bologna team. Missing Michele Angele. One of their key players. He was a big part of the La Fota team that beat Clapham back in Caorle 2019, if I've got my years lined up correctly. An excellent big body receiver with blazing speed. He is a physio as well, was the physio for the under 17 team, the under 17 mixed team, I believe, over in Ghent, the Italian nationals. So it does a lot in the sport still, but not available, not here this weekend. And he would be one of their top marked players, but they are very much, as many Italian teams, play with hegemony and everybody does everything. All spots get filled. And they've filled their way into the end zone there. Another goal. Lorenzo Pace to Christian Gaglione. And you look across the one tribe roster. Parodi's got 10. Joshua Poltok, 11 points. And Pietro Zocca with 10. But very well distributed, I must say, across the board for one tribe. Poltak, of course, hit the scene with the under 24s and then with the Italian national mixed team in Limerick last year on that team that surprised many. Probably Germany mixed more than any, but made their way to the finals. Heymans, Phillips, and Heymans again. Wide field spreader. Sent into the dumb space for Christoph. Heymans. And we do see a pull-stopping defense out of one tribe. The deep game was working for Jetset, so nice to see a response, but Jetset responding to the new defense quite well right now, too. Moyerson goes back and gets Van der Oost. Philip goes to Van der Oost and then Phillips again. The two handlers exchanging passes, and then they include the rest of the team. Heymans. Moyerson back to Heymans. Villat. Patience out of the Jetset squad here. Van der Oost. Now they push in, and as I say, patience. They find what they need to get into the goal and retake the lead. Moyerson to Robbins, the stat getters. One tribe into attacking zone. Working that far sideline for all it's worth. Now look to center. Or a little bit closer to center. They found middle. They've got to the open side properly. And then a crafty blade to expose the right spacing into the end zone. Tied back up again. That was Bragin to Parodi for the goal. We've got Sam Murphy's ongoing input. The Jetset side have not totally abandoned external pickups this season, but they've got some guys that aren't here. Schmid from the Big Easy, Weller from Armada. I must say, I follow the sport quite keenly, and I'm not sure I know these fellas, so they must know something I don't know. I do know that they did not take the big man. It might not have been a fit, the Gauba brothers. They played with him at Tom's, and perhaps, but I know Gauba. I think he's a player who, if you get Give him a couple goes. That guy can make an impact. Schmid and Weller, well, they may not have a chance to play with them if Jetset can't get it done. They're getting it done right now. Heyman's with high release backhands. Dished back immediately. Dump space. Jetset maintaining a deep vertical stack, still this close to the end zone, and the leading throw will have a pick called upon it. Suspiciously open. Sent back. I think we're just about ready to have that thing tapped in. Well, I know I'm very ready. Nice pop pass by Heyman's. Pop push. And there it is. Heyman's with the assist. And Jetset back into the goal. Moyerson on the receiving end of the goods. So my ongoing chat with Sam Murphy, I like it. We're talking about the transfer portal and the window, how it's going to be used. I've expressed my uncertainty about Jetset's choices, taking guys I'd imagine that had their hands up that are asking to be there. I think in the future, as the transfer window approaches, any teams that are on the outside looking in, there's going to be some potential abandonment of their team and their campaign to make sure, a good player gets on. Case in point, Luca Bouchon. If Isno gets bumped in somehow by not playing and other teams who have, common opponents winning or losing their way in or out, so Isno might get bumped in. They are in 17th place. Well, they will have now lost the services of Luca Bouchon because he is assumed that Isno has a lower chance of getting in, or maybe none. It certainly there is that chance, but a much lower chance of getting in. And he wants to go for the sure deal, offers his services, and then Isno, should they get in, have lost a strong player. Gentle, on the other hand, will have gained a good player, and the EUCF competition will be a stronger competition. But this is the first year, of course, with these kind of rules on rosters, with a qualifying system that is worked by an algorithm. So a lot to be worked out. I think Ravi last night was talking about how best to work the system. I think he said if you are a super strong team, play as many games as you can. If you know you belong there, if you know you're good enough to show consistency and get wins across the season, play as many as you can. If you're a team that might be on the cusp, you got to put yourselves, consolidate your efforts, play your 10 games, make sure you got your best players available for those 10 games, swing hard, and hope that your best efforts in those isolated games are enough to, get you a little bit of good fortune, and hope that you play the right opponents too on those weekends. The scheduling gods need to be with you. Oh, the scheduling gods. They play such a big part. Big arcing forehand splits the field. All the way to the goal line and in go one tribe. They are playing from behind, but they continue to respond. Parodi on the goal from the Bragin assist. Parodi, for those counting, of the 6 goals scored, 5 of them into the hands of Davide Parodi. Jetset. Velat. Under. Near sideline. And the around. Van der Oost. Phillips. And Heymans sends it back. Heymans winds up, sends, and that one goes a bit too far. So Sam Murphy, my color prompter, he wants to know who's going to win the EUCF. It's a great question. I'm not ready to answer that. I also want to have a show about this and get some of the punters' opinions that we can publish and then be shamed or praised for our predictions after the fact. This one hanging up, and camera says no. No celebration, so it was not on. I think I have an idea who I believe is going to win, but I have not put enough thought. I think I will make my official prediction after Worlds. Jetset. This second chance to hold. Heymans, identifiable by the white hat. Leading throw is knocked down too far in front. Haverly's backhand kicks things the other way. Can one tribe break? Can the camera keep up? No, in both cases. They're not far off in both cases. Inbounds. Popped over to Haymans. Haymans, nice looking throw, and it counts. And that is another break. No, it's not. That is a hold. I apologize for my excitement. Javier with the throw. I was sure that was a Haymans throw. To Arnu van der Oost with the goal. That makes things 7-6. Exciting times, though, in EUCF for EUCF. We're so close to finding out who will be in. I'm sure the in and out show, the next one, might not be tomorrow. That's my guess. I might drag this one out a bit. Unveil the suspense. But once it is, I mean, I think, again, from the show last night, women's division is so exciting. I think both women's and open there are the big three, and then, there's potential 4 or 5 that can sneak in if the scheduling gods are good, and if they play well, of course, to that last semi spot. There is some potential. One of those big three, Moodcatchers, left foot to Clapham, Jinx, Shout, Yaka, could be left out of the semifinals. It would take a momentous effort, but there are enough teams here that on their best day can knock off these teams in both of these divisions. Yaka moved up to the number 1 spot. I've got some question marks about Yaka. I know Chloe Olivier is not there. I know Aman Babikan is still going to make her final decision after Worlds. There are Ines Bringel came back, but then injured herself at London Invite. Chloé Vallée and Melina Daban no longer there from last season. Yes, they're good. They're deep. But they have had some undoing this season. But they are fighters, Yaka. But I will have a keen interest to see what they can do. But Grit, they're going to be good. Moon Cup, they got to put it all together, but they've got a strong top end. How about the Czechs? Czechs are all in on EUCF, not going to Worlds. Both East Block and 3SB been playing well. East Block knocked off 3SB yesterday. 3SB's first loss in the qualifying system. So much happening. And what about one of these teams? One Tribe, Jetset. Will they be there? Will they catch this huck? He's gone up, and the defense was well in front. Foul called. I thought that was good defense by Emile Derek. We will not see a replay, but we will see them use their bodies to retell the story by their own perspectives. So, going back to UCF predictions, do I think that it will be somebody outside of the big three that wins it in either open or women's, let's say? Probably not. I think my pick will be within those big three. I think. I still have time to think, though. I'm not giving you my answers now. Mixed gets tricky. Yeah, it gets tricky. I quite like Seski, but they're going to be coming back from Worlds after going all in. A lot of French types on, French national players on that on Seski. Seski are playing today or no? Perhaps or no. Oh yeah, no, they are. Yeah, Sasha Podsakolski there. That really makes a difference. Well, so much. That could be the trickiest one. I don't think there is a big three. TFC Taucha have had a great season, but I think a lot of their greatness was at the start of the season. Not like they've fallen off, but I think everybody will have had a chance to catch up. I think any in the top 8 could have a chance as Jetset get a turn here, and my focus is going to turn back to this game as it is a cracking game. Heymans finds a seam, and we've seen a score at the other end, and that must really indicate that we've had a break. And we have Heymans to Van der Oost. First score on the right side of your screen. And Jets at 8-6. They take half. They're going to get the pullback. And who's not excited? I can't put my hand up for that one because I am excited. It's halftime. With that, I'm going to take a short break here. I'll be back. More action to come. Second half from Chambéry. Back underway. Jetset with the disc. And a 2-point lead here. Hello again. I think I had my microphone muted. I apologize. I had wonderful things to say. Disc into the end zone. Jetset find their way in after being broken to open the half. 9-7 the score now. Jetset still in the lead. So not knowing how much I was muted for, I'm back to tell you that I'm very excited about the mixed division. Tifsitauha and Seski playing at the same summer invite. Very good chances they will see each other deep in the bracket. Right now, bracket set Tifsitauha taking on the Owls. Disconnection taking on Kus Padova Rangers. Seski taking on Vina Mischung, who I don't know much about. And Disconnection, Heck taking on Nulakt is the final quadrant of the quarterfinals. Tifsitauha have smashed Remix 15-3, smashed Frub 15-3. So they really are just anyone who gets in their way, they are wiping the floor right now. But they've had, and then they beat Heck 15-1. Wow. So Tifsitauha, holy moly. Can anyone stop them? We'll find out today because they will get tested as this bracket tightens up. Those games, quarterfinals set to begin in about 30 minutes. One tribe. Look off the up line, take the reset to the middle. Not quite in, or is it? Was that bad back foot dragging? No, they're playing on. Gaglione goes back and finds Zocca. Then they're in. And one tribe get it done. Make it 9-8. It was Andrea Bragin in the back of the end zone. There's also real excitement in Warsaw. One of these teams, there are a lot of cusp teams here. Pelt, Savage, Sky This, Tartu. It's their tournament to win. They're the team that's most in. But if somebody could knock them off, that's a huge wild card to take. Jetset need their own wild card potentially. They might need to win this tournament. Is that possible? Indeed. Will they have their hands full after what Quixotes did to them yesterday? Yes, they will. But they are in the driver's seat against the next best team in this tournament thus far. We all know how the ebbs and flows of prime form can change from game slot to game slot and certainly from day to day. Jetset on the doorstep. Heymans finds the corner, hits, and connects for the goal. Looks like Christoph Phillips. That'll take him up to double digits, 10-8. It was indeed Phillips from Heymans. Yeah, Tartu in the 7 spot. Looking again at these teams in Warsaw. Tartu in the 7 spot. Mosquitoes in the 6. So by ranking, it should be Tartu Mosquitoes. But if I am Sky This, Savage, who are sitting at 16, 17, playing each other later in the day, boy, oh boy, am I pulling out all the stops to try and get that tournament win. You know, win your games, play every point, all that stuff. But, geez, these wild cards are so important. Deep shot gone up. Bid is a little bit late, or the throw a bit too far. However you want to call it, they do not get the completion. Jetset from their own end. Tried to break again. Would be huge at this stage of the game. Almost an hour into it. Lead throw. Big shot low, and it almost has a chance. The low flop bid, but now One Tribe get their second chance to hold. Inside center. And leading throw, that is going to work. And One Tribe come good in the end. Parodi leads to Poltok. And One Tribe stay ahead. Or, sorry, play from behind, remain behind, but pull it back to within one. So then we look over to Heilbronn, open division. Wall City have been getting the Ranelagh treatment, winning all their games, but dropping in the rankings. Not winning by enough because they were previously higher seeded. They dropped in yesterday's ranking readjust from, I think, 4th to 6th, maybe 5th to 6th, but either way, dropped. Heidi's were the biggest jump. You know, for teams like Gentle as well, they've been doing a tough. Bad Skid doing themselves favors. Big win over Gentle is of note. But tight games everywhere. Panthers from Bern, no pushover. 7 Schwaben showing up to play. Even Frank N, no pushover here. That is a tight. Free Speed are becoming the weakest team at this tournament. Swiss champs. And just getting pushed around a little bit in Heilbronn. Then in Leicester, Alba, and Chevy, 3-0s. So much action. I just can't keep up. There's so much to follow. I love it. Jetset. Big gainer with all that space created in the middle. Dishy to the sideline. Van der Oost. Goes around back to center and gets again. Phillips. Led to the front. First deep. And in for the goal. Jetset stay up by a couple. 11-9. Haymans to Robbins for that goal. One tribe, pull talk. Pushes forward to the sideline. Pull talk again. Centering. One tribe need these conversions. Zoka moves again. And we've got a violation. Led in, not quite on the corner. Will they jam it or get themselves out? Yes, find some space. Release valve hit. Back into the same corner. Poached defender came. Now there was, for a second, a unguarded cutter, but they found a chance to catch up. They've also called the foul. Has Wood Tribe. Going back ever nearer to center. Zoka high to Parodi. Parodi leads to the far side of the field. Some contact on the reception. Hits the sideline. Now to goal and a beautiful take. One tribe. Bring it back to within one. 11-10. Bragin to Zoka for the stats. Pull to Jetset. Maintenance of lead. They are happy to trade. Haymans comes under. Ooh, slip, but enough time to catch up for Villat. Scuba over top. Needed a heck of a layout. It did get the requirements. Leading throw, shot for goal. And Jetset do it again. Kick to spike. Celebration. And that one is a Haymans to Moyerson. They stay ahead by 2. They have got them right where they want them, so to speak. Can they see this one through? We're 65 minutes into the game at the moment of that score. So we have about 5 minutes remaining, just less. One tribe. Receive the pull. They're playing a match defense with a lot of lag on the handlers. Big spacing in between the mark and the disc. Up line to Poltok. Now Parodi. Centers. Baraldi goes across, now to the corner. Leads to center. No continuation. Zoka goes back the other way. Now there's a corner cut, and that one is in for a goal. Brings it back to within one. Emiliano Baraldi is the assist, and to none other than Davide Parodi, his sixth goal of the game. Yes, 6. And he's got an assist as well. That goal clocked in at 67:45. Of course, at 70 minutes, we will see our soft cap. That means finish the point, add 1 to the highest score, and that will be your new hard cap finish score. So it could happen amidst this point. 2 minutes 15 from when that goal scored, probably about 1 minute 15. In all likelihood, it will happen amidst this point. But that's not guaranteed. Jetset have been strong all game long, have not been broken by one tribe. Can they maintain into the attacking half? Dump pass to Phillips. Leading throw. Phillips is there, as is another Jetset target. Fired for goal, and they put the toe down again. That's going to make it 13 on the board. Not quite. That goal took 1:45 seconds. They're 30 seconds away from the time cap, so it will finish the next point and add 1. And that could still mean the game to 15 if Jetset are able to break. If one tribe are able to hold, it'll be a game to 14, and we'll go into that at 14-12. But Jetset very much in the driver's seat. The break to start the game, a second break before the half, and otherwise this game has traded throughout. But Jetset not broken. Very impressive performance. They've needed this after a less than spectacular day yesterday. A humbling loss against Quixotes. Quixotes are in one right now with Monkey. 13-12. Now, by Sam Murphy's math, Jetset still need to win this out and not go down in scoring. or in ranking. He thinks they need 2 more, not 1 more, to still make EUCF. Let's see. The big shot is not going to work. They've got themselves a chance here. If they can get this and make it a game to 15 and break again, that would be a miraculous finish for Jetset. Dropping one tribe and sending themselves skyrocketing towards that all-important 16 spot. Yeah, Fab touched up Blackbirds 15-10, but Quixotes and Monkey have stepped up this morning too. Down by 1 to Quixotes. Anybody's tournament still. Oh, the poach doesn't pay off. Now wide open. Power position not taken, but another wide open throw because of it. This one is taken, and it is on the money. And Jetset break, making it a game to 15. And they have a chance to qualify should they be able to break one more time. And not only that, they look like a team that could come back and possibly win this tournament. They still, they got to be top 2. So they got to beat one tribe by enough here. And again, their lopsided loss yesterday is going to hurt them. Jetset are +1. One tribe are +8. Quixotes +13. Quixotes will look like they're going to get into that 1 spot. This will give... This is Sam Murphy's math. If this ends up being 15-11, that's a +4 -4. I get it. So that means one tribe will go down to 4, and Jetset will go to +5, and they'll be 1 ahead for that second seed to have a chance to play for a final. This is huge. There is still one more match remaining. One more round remaining. Jetset will have Monkey. One tribe will have Blackbirds. So opponents-wise, one tribe with the easier path to maintain their points differential. But for now, this would seem sufficient to put them in position. Pole chase is on. One tribe. Can they break the funk? Deep shot goes. It's not going to work. The foot race is already lost, and that one is hammered off of the ground. Spiking Viking puts it away. And here come Jetset. Chance to win this game in an unprecedented fashion. If they can win it with 2 breaks in a row when their backs were against the wall, it will be a huge show of character for this team. There's a pick that was very evident in the stack. Although Jetset opted to go backwards and use the dump space, they'll still allow the defender to catch up from the stack. Back in play. Jetset legs got to get going. They are only going backwards right now. One tribe defense working hard to try and get this disc back and prevent the late game collapse. Backwards again. There was a wide open, and it's still open. They finally go to it. Phillips takes the next throw. The camera assumed it's upfield further. It's not. Now it's gone to the sideline. Lead throw gets to half. Now they've got some comfort space behind. Ooh. They need that comfort space. Phillips. Van der Oost has had an exceptional day. Floats. Oh, the misread. And how did he come down with that? The second read beats the defense. Phillips sees the hammer. It was there. No, and then he forces it in. That should have been the hammer or nothing. Now one tribe go again. Can they play spoiler here against the Leuvenhites? Uh-oh. Jetset legs are lagging. Defense is slow to get on the mark here. Poltok. Zoka, and that's D, double D, in fact. Great bid. Jetset not going down without a fight here. They have talked about every point matters all season long, and it's moments like this when the calculations are all in, and you really see what these points mean to both teams here. A bit more to Jetset, playing from outside of the 16, and a block, I'm assuming there. The camera was not caught up, but it is definitely in the hands of one tribe. They've got a short field. Poltok. Into Parodi. Back to Poltok again. Parodi. Two-player game here. Wide, low hand collects in the center. Lead, throw, bid comes. You got to bid now. If you don't bid now, you're never going to get a chance. And there's a goal. And that will keep one tribe ahead no matter the result. But a very important goal, even in what will potentially be a losing cause. It is still a game to 15. And now Jetset got to put out an O-line to close this one out. One tribe sends the pull. And move themselves in for the goal. Go Jetset. A little bit of contact on the reception. Hand clap. It's over. A great game by Jetset. They fall short. They have done themselves a favor in the ranking, for sure. They beat a team that's ahead of them that they were supposed to lose by a couple. They're in 19th. A win like that is only going to help them, but will it be enough help? They'll have to hold their breath and see. Will they find an alternate route into the final placing game? They'll have to hold their breath and see. We will not be holding our breaths. We'll be breathing freely. Continuing on to the very next game, there's more action as per usual. Non-stop action, in fact, here from Chambéry. The next game into the women's division, we'll have Tequila Boom Boom taking on Sharks Ultimate Barcelona. Make sure you're tuned in for that. Thank you for joining us. I've been Stefan Rapazzo, and we'll catch you next time.